Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Viewers Club. My name is Megan.
My name is Lukas.
And my name is Tess.
And welcome. And today we are back talking about the entire series of the anime Your Lie in April. If you guys don't know, we did a reaction to the first, 3 episodes?
I think it was the first
of it for one of our movie nights.
Yeah.
You can go check that out. I'll leave a link somewhere. Anywhere. There'll be a link to it. Go check it out. I can't stress this enough. If you have not seen this series, I highly recommend watching it and then coming back to this because it is a very, very good anime.
Yes.
Enough said. But here is your non-spoiler synopsis. Piano prodigy Kosei Arma no longer plays piano because of trauma from his past, but when this pessimist meets violin prodigy... Oh, how do you pronounce her name? Kaori. Thank you. I think it's Kaori. When this pessimist meets violin prodigy Kaori Miyazono, I am so sorry. I am truly sorry. His world changes forever when she shows him the beauty in music again. But will a life-changing secret change things forever again? Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, that's the best I can do. Please watch it. Watch it.
Yes,
just watch it. I need more people to watch it.
Yeah.
So good.
I told my friend to watch it after I finished it, and she was like, dude, I watched that in the 7th grade. And she was like, get with the times. I watched that when I was 13. It's like, I'm sorry.
So I kind of have a general idea of your guys' feelings about at least the first 2 episodes of the show.
The rest was trash, and I just didn't like it.
The rest was trash. So we're getting into spoilers now. I think it's very important that we start this now, but now we're spoiling things. This story is super depressing. It's so depressing, watching the most lifeful, the character that's full of the most life die is the most depressing thing in the entire world.
So, to be honest, as soon as she stopped at the hospital, as soon as it was, I think, episode 3, when it was like she's stopping at the hospital, I was like, no. I was like, I could see this train accident before it happened. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Then you knew it was going to get worse after she passed out, and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
I guess that brings me into the first question. Your overall feelings about this story, because it's a very different story than I think most people are used to when it comes to anime.
Yeah.
Unless they love slice of life. But for the most part, the most people that I know, the majority of them prefer like Attack on Titan, Death Note, very actiony, very fantasy driven, but this is very much slice of life. So like, what was your guys' feelings about the story the first time you watched it? Lukas?
I really enjoyed it because it's very different from any anime that I had seen. Like you said, I watch a lot of action anime. Attack on Titan's my favorite. But it was such a cool change of pace, and it was beautifully drawn, and the story was beautifully told, and it was something that I hadn't seen before, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the type of story it was able to tell and how deep it dived into human emotions. I felt so sad for Sad Glasses, aka Kosei.
No.
I just felt I wanted to give him a hug throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, can I just
for real though?
Can you just I just need to give you some kind of happy vibe. I just need you to I need you to be happy, man. Gosh.
Tess, what about you? What did you think about it? Your first time watching it all the way through?
Oh my gosh. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And I would like have my dinner and just like binge watch episodes. Yeah. I'm like it's so beautiful and like well done, but like so many emotions, and I'm like, man, this is really heavy and sad, but
yeah. It's very interesting. The first time I watched this, series, I was like crying pretty much every episode. You know, it's very emotional, and it's not like they're manipulating your emotions through like the music, as a lot of people would think that, but it's not. It's very story driven. It's very character driven. It's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I forced my friends to watch it, and they hate me for it.
Yeah.
I forced you guys to watch it, and now you guys probably hate me for it, but that's okay.
And speaking of
it's good.
it being story driven, that was also something that I loved, was that it started to focus on like the other characters like Tsubaki and Watari. I wasn't expecting that, even though they're in the opening. I was like, okay, they're all friends, they're all there.
You'd think it'd only be settled around these two people.
Exactly, and it was much more of this ensemble piece, and I really enjoyed that.
I can only imagine how good the manga is, honestly. If this is what the anime came up with, I can only imagine. It's super good. Since we brought up characters, why don't we talk about like favorite characters? I know it's very hard to pick. Personally, I don't know if I can choose a favorite character. They're so well rounded, all of them. Honestly, did you guys have a favorite character, whether it was based on story or based on the actor or based on anything in particular?
I think so, but I'll wait.
Oh no!
You want to wait?
Mine. Yeah, I'll say
Tessa,
mine.
do you have one?
Oh goodness.
I will go.
Okay. It's so hard.
Even though I truly loved, Sad Glasses and
Stringy
McGee.
Stringy McGee.
Watari is actually one of my favorites. I think he's a really great character. I think he really embodies what a real middle schooler would have been like in this situation. You know what I mean?
He's like the Sokka of the story.
Check that out as well, guys. You'll love that. I think he's a really, really good character. I think he's a really good friend too, although he does get portrayed as like the dumb jock. He's a very interesting character, and he is very opposite to the other characters in this story, but he's still which makes him balance out them. They balance each other out very, very well. So he's definitely one of my favorite characters outside of our two main leads, so.
Do you have one, Tess, or do you want me to go?
Gosh. Okay, I'll go.
Cool.
I honestly liked all of them for what they contributed to the story. But I think I liked Sad Glasses a little bit more because we were like, for the majority of the show, like literally listening to all of his thoughts and emotions, and it was a long journey. So I liked how they
it could have been longer. I would prefer it if it was longer.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Lucas. What about you?
I agree with both of you. I thought, they're just such good characters. And I think for me, it's kind of like almost a tie between Sad Glasses and Tsubaki. And I liked Sad Glasses. I liked Kosei. We kind of followed him, and I empathized with him a lot throughout the whole thing, and I just wanted him to be happy. But I really, really liked Tsubaki's character, and I really loved it when we started to focus on her inner thoughts and what she was going through in the middle of all of this, and how she'd always really liked him, and she, really likes Kaori as a friend, and she is happy that Kosei is happy, but she's really conflicted because she's like, but I want him to be happy with me. Does that make me a horrible person? Her kind of dealing with that, and I really like they explored that. I really,
and I think I think it's what makes this such a beautiful story is that it's full of complex emotions. It isn't very straightforward. You know what I mean? It's not like a lot of other stories where it's like Tsubaki likes Kosei, and then when he finds out Kaori likes him, or he likes her, more apt as far as that's concerned. When she finds that out, she's conflicted. It isn't that she hates Kaori, you know. It isn't that she distanced herself from these two people, you know. It's that she has to deal with this inner conflict where she's just like, I really like this person, I want him to be happy, but it makes me upset because, you know, and there's a lot of emotions like that. There's a lot of those feelings, you know. Kosei has that exact same feeling. Yeah, Kosei has that exact same conflict when he first meets Kaori and finds out that Wadadi likes her, you know. It's like, it's very complex, and that's what makes the story, I think, very beautiful. I wish more film in general did this as far as stories go, you know. It's okay to have complex emotions. You don't just have to be straightforward angry at a bitch.
Right. Yeah.
It's very, very well done, and I think that's what makes the story truly, truly beautiful, you know.
Absolutely.
I wanted to get your guys' feelings on the ending of the story. The story deals with a lot of ups and downs. There's PTSD from Kosei, from his mother, you know, but he finds out that it was more or less out of love, whether that was a bad choice for her. There's the ending where Kaori dies, you know, and Kosei is dealing with that inner sadness again, where he's like, I don't know if I can, you know. It's reminding him of his relationship with his mother, and it's the reason why he stopped playing music. There's a lot of like sad endings, but it does in a way end very happy, you know.
Yeah.
He still has his friends. He becomes a more positive, free-spirited person. So compared to how other films in this genre might end or might never end, you know, what did you guys think about it? Because it is a very complex emotion. Me personally, I was very bittersweet, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
You're very, very sad, you know, but you're also, you also have this like happy feeling for that Kosei is becoming a more free-spirited, positive person. You know, he's growing up as it were. It's very...
Yeah. It's like Ron said in The Prisoner of Azkaban, you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it. That's how I felt with this whole anime. It was just
my gosh.
very, you know, it was so
going to be happy,
bitter.
but you're going to suffer.
So I really liked the ending, and I really liked how everything tied together, and I knew that the name would come into play at some point, but I didn't know how. And so, to be honest, I was really, really pleasantly surprised and really happy when
at what the lie was.
Yeah, at what that was, and I was like, oh yes. And then I kind of,
because you think it's one thing, but it's not.
I really, in my heart of hearts, I really hope that somewhere Kosei and Tsubaki are happily married and living together and just having a happy life.
Yeah, me too.
That would be that's my canon. That's what happened after the story in my heart.
Same.
They went to high school and they fell in love, and then they never stopped loving each other. I love that.
I really like that idea. But the whole thing was just, it was a really cool, bittersweet moment, and I loved his quote, his duet, his final duet with Kaori, and how they both felt each other in that moment, and it's just stunning.
Yeah. You guys really said it best. I mean, it was bittersweet. Yeah.
Bawling over my bowl of cereal.
I know. Yeah, when he was saying goodbye to his mom, like, that just got me. Like, oh my gosh.
It killed me.
I was
bawling.
like,
I was an emotional wreck.
Oh my gosh.
Every time, too. It, like, gets me every single time. Like, it's not... You know what happens, and then you watch it again, and you don't have that emotion. It's like you watch it again, and you're like, I am so sad again.
He hurts so bad.
I know.
He hurts so much. That angsty teen. Let's get out of the sadness. Let's stop being sad for a minute. Let's talk about that beautiful art style.
Oh
Listen.
Gorgeous.
Man.
Yes.
I have never seen something like that.
No, it's so unique for anime. Not like in general, but like of the anime that I've seen, and of the slice of life anime that I've seen, which slice of life is like my favorite type of anime, so I've seen quite a bit of it. it is very uniquely done.
Mm-hmm.
It is very like light. It is very flowy. It is very pretty and heavy set on those freaking colors. It's
saturation.
It is the saturation. And the desaturation when she's in the hospital. You're just like, no. It's I think personally this is like probably one of the most beautiful anime I've ever seen, hands down.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the art style? Were there any particular like favorite things or themes that got brought up a lot in it, or?
Yeah, I think it was really cool how detailed they were with the piano recitals and like them hitting, you know, the same keys at the same tempo. It was very detailed. Also how they left that space on the sides of sad glasses.
Sad glasses.
So yeah,
So
details
you
like
can see
that.
the sad
So that
behind his glasses.
yeah, exactly. In that one shot, towards the end of the series where he's like crying and like looking down at his hands, and you see like the tear droplets like falling to the ground. Like that was so cool. That was a really interesting shot to me. But yeah,
Lucas, do you have a favorite theme scene or anything as far as the art style goes?
Oh my gosh, yes, just all of it. Yeah, I was really impressed.
Every frame.
Yeah, like what Tessa said, I was really impressed by the detail of the instruments and how they they hit all the keys, and with the violin especially, because I mean that's not just hitting the key, like they did the trill whenever you have to shake your hand to get the sound. I thought that was awesome because like nobody ever does that in any sort of like in film. In film they don't do that. In film they just kind of touch the board.
Yeah. It's been done like one time as far as animation is concerned. It was like considered hugely groundbreaking, and then you realize that this came out before it. I'm talking about Coco. I don't know if you guys have seen Pixar's Coco.
not yet.
The big project, every Pixar film that ever gets made, they always have a big project to be done. In Monsters, Inc., it was Sully's individual hairs, you know, and like for Meredith and Brave, it was her hair as well, going curly and crazy, that sort of thing. In Coco, it was all about the music, specifically the guitar. So the big groundbreaking thing that they did was that the notes that he was playing were actually what was being played, you know? It wasn't like cheating it, where it's just like, oh, we'll have someone ADR the music after, you know? He was actually playing the notes, and that was a huge groundbreaking thing. But I think that people are like, because it's a Western thing, we're very proud of the things that we make here in the West. We forget that there are other elements of animation that have also succeeded in this. I think Your Lie in April was definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
As far as the music was concerned, getting to watch them actually play up to speed, you know, and playing the correct notes, it was very, very well done. If I knew anything about either of those instruments, I'm sure I'd be even more impressed than I am now. I loved it. One of my favorite things was so a lot of anime does this, the switch to the chibi side of them. So the chibi is like the less detailed. They're rounder in face, and they have those weird faces that they make. I loved the transitions between those because it combines what this story is about, but it also like goes to what a lot of anime already does, which I really, really loved. So the use of the chibi was very like minimalistic,
right,
compared to what other animes do. A lot of animes will almost go 50-50 depending on the anime. So it's like, it's so good. It's so pretty. So I love the eyes in particular, though. I like that the eyes aren't like super dry, if that makes any sense. They have like the way that they make tears is beautiful. It actually feels like the characters are living, you know? A lot of other animes don't have that almost like liquid shine effect on eyes, you know? But it also is an advantage because the show is only one season long, so it's like, who knows?
I mean, it was, I loved I think my favorite scenes were when flower petals were coming off the trees, or the petals, and it was, God. all those shots of
I love the song, the introduction of the song.
Yeah.
The reoccurring coming back to it's April's almost over, you know? It's like we know there's a timeline.
Stop. No.
Before we start crying, do you guys have any final thoughts on this little series?
I love it so much. Watch it if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and cry.
Trust me, even though we spoiled it, we gave you the warning first off. Don't get mad. We gave you a warning. Second off, you'll still feel the feels when you watch it. It doesn't matter. You're still gonna cry.
You'll feel it. Can we just take a moment to appreciate? I can't remember what her name is, but can we take a moment to appreciate, like Kosei's basically step-in mom? A couple episodes in the series. Can we just appreciate her presence throughout? I mean, she was so great. She was just what Kosei needed.
Was. Exactly. Yeah.
I guess that is something that I forgot to mention is like the Hiroko. Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe that's her. Hiroko.
That sounds right.
Again, big apologies for mispronouncing the name. I'm not Japanese. I don't know how to speak Japanese. My apologies. But I do. I guess this is something that I do want to talk about, because I think it would be important to talk about. First of all, if you have stuck with us this long and you haven't seen the show, I do want to give you a heads up that there is, for like trigger warnings, this can be very triggering for people. Mm-hmm. It deals with death, it deals with abuse, it deals with a lot of internal almost self-hatred in a way.
Yeah.
It can be triggering to people, so I do want to throw that out there. I should have thrown that out there in the beginning, but here we are.
By the way.
Here we are.
FYI.
It can be very triggering for some people. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about Kosei's mother, Saki, right? Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Yeah, you're right.
That storyline was not something I was particularly expecting, but I don't think it was something that was... I think it was something that really added to his character a lot. And yeah. So again, I feel like I should say this. We don't support hitting your children.
Please don't.
We don't.
Unless they.
Please don't.
I'm just kidding.
Stop.
Stop
it. I'm sorry. We do not support that.
The Viewers Club does not support hitting your children.
Do not abuse sad glasses.
It is a very sad story, and even though I believe that she had the right intentions in mind, it is still not right the way that she handled the situation.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna leave that there.
Yeah.
Another depressing thought to have.
Yeah, and it was so sad seeing like him and what was you literally just said it. What was the name of the
Hiroko?
Hiroko, yes. Oh. It was so sad seeing Hiroko and Kosei react, like kind of their memories of the mom and like everything that happened prior. And I'm glad they made her like a really a three-dimensional person who like didn't want Kosei to actually go into piano, and then when he did, then it was like, okay, this is all or nothing, and it just took a turn for the worse. And I really, it was so sad, but I really thought it made it really interesting how, one of the last things he said to her was, basically that, how much he hated this and all. It was, I thought that, him blaming himself was, that was kind of a full circle moment where you're like, oh, that's where that's coming from. Ew.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think the juxtaposition between Kosei and Kaori is a really, really good one and a really beautiful one. Like her life is not... Like she's happy all the time. She's a very optimistic person. But her life isn't great,
No.
And Kosei didn't have a great life and his life is pessimistic. And then after meeting Kaori, it shifts. And I think that that's a beautiful thought and a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah.
Are there Any more closing thoughts from you guys?
I don't think so.
No.
Just go watch it. And
I think we covered it. Yeah.
Watch it.
Have some tissues close
by. Watch it. Let us know how many times you've cried.
Please don't abuse your children.
Please don't abuse your children. Please, for the love of God,
play the piano.
Don't abuse your children.
Learn to play the piano. It's a cool instrument.
Basically, what he's saying is watch this anime.
Yeah,
You'll
love
cool.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll hate it, but you'll love it.
Yeah, it'll stick with you.
You're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Viewers Club. My name is Megan.
My name is Lucas.
And my name is Tess.
And you all have a good.
Have a good.
Can you imagine if Harry looked into his cup? It was just a picture of a piano and a violin, and that was what Ron was looking at. Like
that's what he was. You're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be.
It's not the Grim.
It's your Lion April.
It's your
and it's
Lion
going
April.
to destroy you.
Oh no.